Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan, and this is One News Now. Israel and Hamas have agreed to extend their ceasefire by 2 days. According to a senior Israel official, the militant group will release 10 hostages a day during the pause in fighting. Mediators Qatar, the United States, and Egypt have engaged in intense negotiations to make the truce extension happen. Over the course of the initial 4-day ceasefire, Hamas was expected to free 50 captives who are mostly women and children. In exchange, 150 Palestinian prisoners of Israel will be released while more humanitarian aid can enter Gaza. However, the United States wishes the truce could be longer.
It's a glimpse of hope and humanity in the middle of the darkness of war. And I strongly hope that this will enable us to increase even more the humanitarian aid to the people in Gaza that is suffering so much, knowing that even with that additional amount of time, it will be impossible to satisfy all the dramatic needs of the population in Gaza.
Meantime, Eleanor Jimmy Pacheco is returning to the Philippines after a 49-day ordeal in the hands of Hamas. The Pinoy caregiver's homecoming is more meaningful as it happens right before Christmas. Rainiel Pawid tells us more.
With cheers and claps, OFW Eleanor Jimmy Pacheco got discharged from hospital in Israel, where he received medical assessment after being held hostage and released by the militant group Hamas. Philippine officials are now working on his immediate repatriation. Jimmy is now eager to return home to his family, which for him is an early Christmas present after going through such an ordeal in Gaza. He has 3 children, all of whom are still in elementary.
Lagi ko pong pinagdasal na magkita pa kami. Kasi yung mga na ganyan po kami lalaki nung iniwan po kami ng tatay namin. Kaya siguro hindi inano yun ng Diyos na gagawin ko sa mga anak ko na ganyang kakaliit na ilelep ko sila.
While government officials work on his return to the Philippines, Jimmy is currently staying with his late employer's children.
It's like our family now. Over the last 4 years that he's with us, we're very happy. We're waiting for Jimmy in the hospital.
The Pacheco family won't have to wait long. The Department of Foreign Affairs says Jimmy could be back in the country before Christmas.
About a week before Christmas, so let's give it about December 15 to 18, that yun ang kanyang mga target dates.
Once back in the Philippines, Jimmy says he has no plans of going back abroad.
Kasi ang trabaho ko noon driver ng kiskisan, yung rice mill. Magkaroon ng sariling ganon, masaya na ako.
Tulungan natin siya, basta what we can promise, yung kanyang bubuing kiskisan ng bigas yan eh. Yun ang tawag nila dyan. So, we'll work on it.
The Philippine government is also working with Israeli counterparts to possibly provide Jimmy with lifetime financial support.
Meron yan kasi former a terrorist victim yan, so he will get some social security benefits, parang pension yan eh, parang monthly pension.
For now, the Philippine Embassy officials continue to monitor Jimmy's condition as he recovers from hearing issues after being held captive by Hamas. His family, meanwhile, is in Manila under the custody of OWA awaiting his return. For News 5, Rainiel Pawid, we are One News.
On to another story where Vice President Sara Duterte says it again, respect Malacanang's position on the International Criminal Court. The VP wants some bases covered. She will continue to reach out to the Justice Department for an official position on the matter. The VP is also asking the DOJ about possible legal action against proposals to allow the ICC to investigate the war on drugs. That probe has in its center Sara's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte. A few resolutions calling for government's cooperation with the ICC probe are also pending in Congress, the latest of which was filed by Senator Risa Hontiveros.
We all should respect the position of the President being the chief architect of foreign policy. So yun po lahat na dapat na posisyon nating lahat. We will continue to reach out to the Department of Justice regarding our position on this matter, and we will lay down the legal basis of our position with the DOJ.
When pressed about President Marcos' supposed change of tune over the ICC probe, the Vice President can only say this much.
Merong sudden change po dun sa position ng government.
I cannot speak for the President. You need to ask the President on this matter.
Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. The National Security Council has given a green light to a civilian-led Christmas supply mission to the West Philippine Sea. Atin ito coalition confirmed that its planned trip on December 5 has a go signal of the NSC and the National Task Force on the WPS. The government is allowing the group through routes including that passing through Ayungin Shoal where the BRP Sierra Madre is grounded. Atin ito is bringing food and other provisions to frontliners in disputed waters. The Christmas convoy also wants to normalize Filipino civilians sailing freely through waters within Philippine territory. Defense Secretary Gilbert Teodoro says bilateral talks with China about contested waters is not logical at this moment. Teodoro explains discussion will not be fruitful unless Beijing's sincerity is proven. The defense chief also acknowledges President Marcos' concern over China's ongoing maritime activities. Teodoro stresses engaging in negotiations under such circumstances could hamper Manila in asserting its rightful claims.
Formal bilateral discussions should only be held when it is proven that they are sincere. But the President himself has said their illegal activities continue unabated. So to enter into bilateral negotiations and not talks, in that context, will be just, to me, playing into their playbook.
We now give you a quick look at today's other top stories. Former Senator Laila De Lima attended a hearing at the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court this morning. This is for her camp's request to transfer custody of 7 inmates who have signified intent to recant statements against De Lima. The former senator is out on bail for her last remaining drug case. Meanwhile, the ex-senator is expecting the ombudsman to conduct a thorough probe on former Justice Secretaries Vitaliano Aguirre and Menardo Guevara. This is after the Court of Appeals granted De Lima's petition to challenge the ombudsman's earlier dismissal of her complaints against the two. In 2019, De Lima accused Aguirre and Guevara of grave misconduct and neglect of duty. The Lagusnilad Underpass in Manila has reopened to motorists today. This is after 6 months of repairs. Earlier reports said that the Manila City government and the DPWH spent 75 million pesos in total for the rehabilitation of the underpass. 6 barangays in Las Piñas City and over 30 more in Bacoor, Cavite will experience water interruptions starting today. Maynilad says this is due to an ongoing leak repair at Tambo Service Road in Parañaque. Water service interruptions will begin at 10 a.m. Tuesday and will last until 4 p.m. tomorrow, November 29. And the last oil price hike for the month of November is in effect today. Diesel prices are up by 30 centavos per liter, while kerosene prices are more expensive by 65 centavos a liter. Gas prices are unchanged. Stars of the much-awaited historical film Gurza are all fired up for their Metro Manila Film Festival entry. The movie just had a special screening attended by Enchong D, Cedric Juan, Ketchup Eusebio, Piolo Pascual, and many more. Executives of MQuest Ventures Incorporated were also there to show support, including MediaQuest President and CEO Jane Basas and TV5 President and CEO Guido Zaballero. Gurza is produced by Jescom Films and MQuest Ventures Incorporated and was directed by Pepe Diokno. It is showing starting December 25, Christmas Day.
Yung mga excited na pumila para sa Metro Manila Film Fest, sana unahin yung Gurza kasi isa tong hindi lang regalo namin para sa bansa, regalo namin para sa audience namin, regalo natin to lahat. Tayong mga Pilipino.
10 yung pelikula natin. Lahat yan magkakaibang kwento natin mga Filipino. So why not simulan natin na ma-reignite muna yung pagiging Filipino natin para mas ma-enjoy natin panoorin pa yung iba pang mga timelines nang nandito sa mga pelikula nito na Metro.
One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.